Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Wednesday, September 6, 2017. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. Our top story, Chinese government allegedly reveals list of 60 ICOs and platforms under investigation. Thanks to ETH News for locating this Chinese document and translating it into English. As you can see from the ICO list below, many of these ICOs just seem like random names. I've never heard of any of them, and this could be a problem. Roaches. SEC chief speaks out against malicious ICOs. Stephen Pelican, SEC co-director, told attendees that those seeking to leverage blockchain use cases improperly are similar to cockroaches. As he said, as with any kind of newsworthy event, roaches kind of crawl out of the woodwork and try to scam money off investors. The SEC presumably will be taking more actions to protect investors from ICOs soon. ICO ban? Canada's regulators are giving one token ICO a break. That's right. Canada is going to try Impact Coin, which says it's going to be a sandbox for socially responsible enterprises. It looks like a security. It might be a security, but they're going to give it a try. They've put it in their sandbox. Real estate project in Dubai to be the first major development where you can purchase in Bitcoin directly. Looking to invest your Bitcoin? Why not buy an apartment in Dubai? Check out this beautiful building they're going to build. As they've said, if you invest early, you could sell your apartment for 9% more. They think that people in the crypto world like discounts on their ICOs and such. Isabella Kaminska from Financial Times investigated this and said, I'd love to do a video interview with the Baroness so she could justify her position, perhaps wishing to ask the Baroness hard questions about blockchains or what is a Bitcoin. And suddenly, the Baroness became unavailable. It's difficult to get an interview in the Financial Times, as it should be. The mainstream media is back again, with Bloomberg declaring Bitcoin's golden future, Forbes declaring Bitcoin a bubble, and much, much more. Why Beanie Babies make for a better investment than Bitcoin, from MarketWatch, who also claims most of the cryptocurrencies will go out at zero. Don't say I didn't warn you. Bitcoin is a bubble, says Nobel Prize winning economist who predicted the housing collapse. Of course, if you were right about one thing in the past, it means that you'll be right about everything in the future. Opinion. Bitcoin, Ether, and other cryptocurrencies may be seeing the beginning of the end. That's right. More articles to add to the Bitcoin obituaries page. Bitcoin has died 156 times so far. That's a lot. Of course, we have more. We have this great article from Raymond Taeg, Cryptocurrency Singularity. And as he says, paraphrasing Aristophanes, the cryptographic coins are excellent in point of standard. They are assuredly the best of all monies. They are alone mathematically secure and travel weightlessly. Everywhere they obtain currency, both here and in strange lands. It is good we make use of them and avoid those bad paper pieces so wretchedly and carelessly printed. And Seeking Alpha checks in, why Bitcoin is the investment of the decade. So we have some differing views there. We've got more news. The Army Logistic renews their $135 million cloud contract with IBM and gets Watson. That's right, the US Army will begin integrating Watson into their system, the artificial intelligence which recently won on Jeopardy and was related to the Deep Blue intelligence which defeated Garry Kasparov in chess. Nothing to worry about here. Move along. And for more on everything that's been going on today, as well as the price of Bitcoin and the charts, we're joined by Tone Vase. We'd also like everyone to give us a thumbs up and a share. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe below. How's it going, Tone?
Hey man, it's going good. As the news continues to come out about the ICO ban in China, I mean, everything I said the last 2 days seems to have already been working out. The US and Canada are not idly standing by and watching China lead the way. It's exactly what I expected, in that you guys, when China says ICO ban, I mean, you guys are thinking things like Ethereum, if you understand that Ethereum was as an ICO, or things like Civic and Veritasium, which are ICOs. And it may mean that. But the reality of the situation is that the Chinese regulators probably took a look at 100 plus ICOs, and they weren't even debatable scams. They were scams. They were all OneCoin. So unless you expect the Chinese government to literally investigate every single citizen, because we're getting to a point where every single Chinese citizen that knows how to start up a computer is going to start his own ICO and is going to start to try and scam everyone around them. So unless you're expecting the Chinese government to directly investigate every single Chinese citizen and their ICOs, the only thing they can do is to blatantly ban every ICO. It's the logical decision. It's the right decision. And it was what they were supposed to do. I mean, Russia is getting just as bad, but Russia isn't going to ban anything. If you want your ICOs, please go to Russia. I was just there at an ICO conference. Trust me, there are thousands of ICO scams in Russia. You can go and invest in if you like. No one is stopping you. Just go there, okay? You can also go and trade all of their financial markets. I wonder why people haven't traded the Russian financial markets for the last 70 years. Go there. They have very little regulation for you. All right, let's talk about the Bitcoin scaling. So a new column has popped up at xbt.eu, and I wasn't sure exactly what it meant. You have this giant red no. BW Pool seems to have been doing it. Also, BTC.com has been doing it. I wasn't sure what it meant until I cross-checked the block against the list of against the list that shows you how many SegWit transactions there are. And basically, whenever there is no SegWit transactions in a block, xbt.eu will put the word no right here, saying that there were no SegWit transactions in that block. Now, this could mean that the block is purposely not mining SegWit transactions, or it simply means there were no SegWit transactions around to mine. Now, if you look at the block size right here, obviously, I have been, pointing out that the mempool has been empty lately, but it hasn't been this empty, right? The mempool has been more like this empty, like 300 kilobytes. So this is an empty block. And so that means, hey, so BTC.com doesn't care about bit money, and that's fine. Just admit it, and it's okay. But don't come to me telling me that these pools want bigger blocks when they're mining empty blocks. I mean, that's the hypocrisy I can't stand. So it makes perfect sense that even though BTC.com is in support of SegWit, which you can see right here as W, they didn't mine any SegWit transactions because they mined an empty block. This, on the other hand, is a little bit different. BW Pool is not saying that they're supporting SegWit, yet they're supporting the New York agreement, and they're not mining any SegWit transactions in a somewhat full block. And this seems to be every time they mine a block. Like, here's a full block, and so they purposely are not mining SegWit transactions. So this is a complete hypocrite that wants bigger blocks but doesn't want to mine bigger blocks right now with SegWit transactions in them, okay? It's really easy to point this out. I mean, you don't need like a serious investigation. Meanwhile, everybody else seems to have started mining bigger blocks. And look, we already have, I think this is the biggest block I've seen so far. I mean, I don't look at this thing religiously, but yeah, so this is how you can keep an eye on which mining pools and which miners are being more honest and more supportive of the Bitcoin network than others. Okay, let's jump onto the price. Okay, so this is the monthly chart, actually. I'm not sure why I have it. I guess I was looking at it earlier today. We still have the rest of this month and potentially 2 more months of upside, so that's kind of good. Here is the weekly chart. And just as I expected, the weekly chart is doing great. I'm still looking for this pop right here. This pop or this pop, I haven't really, I don't know yet, but it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, when it starts going up and we're hitting new highs at 5,300, we can then determine if we're going to go all the way past 6,000 or not. but that is exactly what I'm looking at. The news out of China is insanely bullish. I might do my economic video later today. I got to check my time in my free time. But after this 9, it looks even better on Bitfinex. After this 9, we had a 1 to 4 candle pullback, which is the highest probability event after you get one of these 9s. And now we're starting to tick up. I would love to see us get above 4,600. And then I will be, I've already been screaming buy, but I'll be screaming buy even louder once we get above 4,600. Here is the 4-hour chart. And the 4-hour chart is looking really good. If the 4-hour chart gets to like this green 9 candle, I will probably, be a little bit cautious. But what I've been saying in one of my little groups is the hourly chart has reversed and started going up. And I haven't seen a single 9. These counts keep being broken up. And because they keep being broken up, it tells me that the market isn't ready to top out, because I use these counts to gauge when the trend has gotten exhausted. And as long as we don't get a 9, the trend isn't exhausted. So I remain bullish on the hourly chart as well. So that's pretty much it for me. Back to you, Thomas, other than Bitcoin mempool is looking kind of good. The BTC China, empty block, good job. Call you out for your bullshit. But other than that, yeah, I mean, mempool got filled up a little bit, so good. I guess they didn't wait for me to announce that the pool is empty before they start spamming it. But this might be real transactions. We'll see.
All right, Tone, thanks for that report. And thanks to everybody for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with Today in Bitcoin at the same time. After that, we're going to go to a more variable schedule. I'll be flying to Europe tomorrow night, to Iceland, then to Paris. I think I'm arriving in Paris the next day. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'll be at the Breaking Bitcoin conference this weekend, and Jimmy Song will be there. And then I think Tone will be flying to Europe later, and he'll be around too. And it's all happening here at the World Crypto Network. So make sure to subscribe below. If you'd like, you could turn on YouTube notifications and it'll send you an email whenever we go live. Just click the bell button on our account page. And if you'd like to send us a donation, maybe $5, $10, you can go ahead and use this QR code right here. We are working on getting a new SegWit QR code, but graphics and updating things takes time. So thanks so much, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.